Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are old now, guys.
But 4 doesn't have a good dialogue system or good RPG elements.
Yeah, well, cry about it, alright?
Well, I'm back at it again with another low-effort Fallout video. Yes, I know it's not worth anyone's time, but I can't help myself. I will be moving away from this type of low-effort content when I get my video process down, but I digress. The video I'm covering here today is called Fallout New Vegas is Becoming Overrated, and spoiler warning, it has very little to do with New Vegas being actually overrated. So, with that little short intro out of the way,
Fallout New Vegas is rapidly approaching the list of the most overrated games of all time. With the Fallout show being a big success, a lot of people are jumping into the game series with the newest single-player experience in the franchise, Fallout 4. And if you ask me, this is actually a pretty good way to start.
this is his real premise for that video, and people called my last video clickbait. Anyways, I have a couple of reasons why this is not a good idea. Coming from the experience that being Fallout 4 was my first Fallout game, it gave me the wrong impression on what Fallout was as an IP. For an example, it gave me the impression that Fallout was a weird, goofy, lighthearted looter shooter with light RPG mechanics, i.e. kid in the fridge, that one weird guy that sells baseball bats in Diamond City, etc. And with the fact that my dialogue choices pretty much being summed up to question, yes. Sarcastic yes, no, but yes later. It's not that they matter anyways, because they mostly lead to the same conclusion for the most part. Lastly, Fallout 4 puts much more emphasis on combat and looting rather than role-playing. You know, player choice, consequences with the factions, and the characters in the world. A good example of this is Fallout 4's E3 presentation. Do note, if you actually go back and watch that, how much stock they put into the gunplay and scavenging and base building, rather than dialogue and actual character choices and interactions.
Fallout 3 and New Vegas are not, at least compared to 4.
But 4 doesn't have a good dialogue system or good RPG elements.
Yeah, well, cry about it, alright?
I don't much like the tone of your voice.
Fallout 4, in my opinion, is fine in these departments. Honestly, the dialogue system and RPG elements are perfectly acceptable.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
Oh, standards are a distant memory, aren't they? Maybe you didn't know this, but this franchise was built almost entirely around its RPG mechanics. But hell, what do I know anyways?
Are they not as in-depth as the other games? Yes, but that's what makes Fallout 4 a good starting place.
It's like what I said earlier, it's a misrepresentation of what the game franchise actually is.
You can be obtuse and lie about it all you want, but the truth is that Fallout 4's gameplay is much more accessible to new players.
That's a nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
Whether it's good or bad to you is irrelevant. It's very easy to pick up and play. It is much less stiff than 3 and New Vegas, and that's what new players are gonna immediately recognize.
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
What do you mean by pick up and play? Both of these games run like hot ass and they crash all the fucking time. Especially Fallout 4 after its next gen update, which was so broken some people on console couldn't even launch the game at all if they had any mods installed from the previous update. And if you mean by gameplay, then what makes New Vegas less accessible than Fallout 4?
Most people who were not interested in Fallout until the show are not going to be able to fully appreciate the depth of 3 and New Vegas if the stiff gameplay mechanics turn them off first.
And does this sound like the kind of people that would stick around these kind of games? Oh, I rest my case then.
Think about it.
A lot of people say that the first generation of Pokemon is the best one. Let's say you want to get more people into Pokemon. Are you going to tell them that Red and Blue are the best ones to start with?
This is boring.
They're probably gonna get bored. Let's be honest here. I think it makes the most sense to start out with something like X and Y, or Sword and Shield, or even Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, if you want to go with the first generation route.
And nothing you have just talked about had anything to do with accessibility or ease of use. This is really fucking pathetic, man. All you said that was, Gen 1 Pokemon boring, therefore play new games instead. Like, I'm sorry, when has boring ever been a topic of this conversation?
Fallout 4 is a fine game. I think New Vegas is better too, guys, believe me. But I hate this idea that since New Vegas is like a 10 out of 10 and Fallout 4 is a 7 out of 10, then the 7 out of 10 game is absolute unplayable hot garbage.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more! Where the fuck are your parents? Who are your parents? I'm gonna call Child Protective Services. It's time to stop!
Textbook straw man.
You are allowed to be more nuanced than that. That is so stupid and hyperbolic. Stop glazing New Vegas.
And people say the New Vegas fan base is toxic.
Why am I toxic?
I'm begging you. New players don't care if you believe Bethesda and Todd Howard have egos because they don't let another studio make a game in their series. Even though that isn't a super common practice in the industry.
I'm sorry, did I click on a different video? Let's get back on topic, please.
No, new players care that the game series they're trying to get into is fun and accessible. And in my opinion,
Duly noted and ignored.
Fallout 4 is that. I hope that playing Fallout 4 leads them into 3 in New Vegas. That's the ideal scenario in my mind.
Then you realize that these new players don't actually give a shit about these games and we're only playing them because the show's popularity.
A lot of people don't even like Fallout 1 and 2.
Am I the only one getting a bit of spite from this man here?
Imagine if you're a huge fan of Fallout New Vegas, right? Like most people are. What if you hate top-down strategy games? And what if somebody wanted you to get into Fallout and they said, no, you need to start with Fallout 1 and 2, because that's the kind of game that they like. You would probably hate Fallout now. You probably wouldn't have even given 3 or New Vegas a try.
Mental gymnastics at its finest, as if the comparison between New Vegas and 4 are comparable to top-down turn-based RPGs. I didn't think he would go here, but, you know, here we are.
Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas are old now, guys. Great games, but still old. Not everyone can just immediately jump into older games and be satisfied.
This is the most pathetic non-argument I have seen in a long time. In a video game franchise, age alone should never be the deciding factor. The irony is, the game you're dick riding is almost 10 years old. So, in your own words,
Not everyone can just immediately jump into older games and be satisfied.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
If they want to start off with 3 or New Vegas and they enjoy them, great. That's fine. But stop telling people that Fallout 4 is inherently bad and is a bad place to start.
Yeah, well, cry about it, alright?
God, that was awful. You know, for a video title around why New Vegas is becoming overrated, it sure has nothing to do with the game being overrated. Instead, it was a half-assed video on why new players should play Fallout first, with no good reasoning behind it. No, I'm gonna go now. By the way, here's a motivational speech.
Your life literally is as valuable as a summer ant. I'm just gonna stump you. You're gonna keep coming back. I'm gonna seal up all my cracks. You're gonna keep coming back. Why? Because you keep smelling the syrup, you worthless bitch ass nigga. You're gonna stay on my dick until you die. You serve no purpose in life. Your purpose in life is to be in my stream sucking on my dick daily. Your purpose in life is to be in that chat blowing a dick daily. Your life is nothing. You serve zero purpose. You should kill yourself now and give somebody else a piece of that oxygen and ozone layer that's covered up so that we can breathe inside this blue trapped bubble. Because what are you here for? To worship me? Kill yourself. I mean that with 100%, with 1,000%.